Hi guys, it's Karina from Ragebreed and welcome to Meet and Greets special with Aaron Stainthorpe from My Dying Bride. Hope you enjoy the interview.
Hi everyone, it's Karina from Ragebreed and I'm here with Aaron from My Dying Bride. How are you doing, Aaron?
I'm very well, how are you?
I'm good, thank you. We're just discussing how warm it is in England at the moment, which is a rarity, isn't it?
It is. It's up here in the north of England. We're not used to anything over 18 degrees, and it's been 32. So that's horrible for me.
I know. I'll tell you something. The other day, when it went really, really hot here, I literally had about 5 showers in one day. I was literally cold showers because it was that hot. I just wasn't used to it.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. I've been sleeping downstairs. Cooler downstairs. Upstairs.
Yeah, I'm literally having like fans in each room. It's really funny.
Yeah.
So Aaron, tell me about the new album then. So you've recently released an album, and that's and it's a really good album. You're listening to it and stuff. When did you guys record that then?
Well, the album's out for a year now. March 2020. And then we released it in November last year. And they're doing really well. You know, they're out on our new record label. Things are going really good for us at the moment, so we're really thrilled. You know, in fact, because we can't do good, we're starting to write a new album. Still very early days. We've not done a great deal, but we're not gigging, so we have to do something else. So we might as well write a new album.
Yeah, you find that a lot of artists during the pandemic, especially, have been writing so much more, haven't they? So, people
because you would normally be on the road. And okay, we don't do that many live shows anyway. But for some bands, we might do like 100 shows a year. For them, they're not doing anything at the moment. For My Dying Bride, we only do about 15 or 20 shows a year. So the impact of the pandemic hasn't been massive for My Dying Bride. It will be massive for loads of other bands. And so if you're sitting on the backside doing nothing, they are writing new material.
And so in My Dying Bride then, when it comes to the songwriting process, how do you guys work? Because sometimes in some bands there's usually like a main core songwriter, or sometimes it's a collective thing. How does the dynamic work in My Dying Bride?
The core is still myself and Andrew, the only original member. Andrew writes most of the music with input from the other member, and I do all the lyrics. We've been doing that for a long time now, and we have to direct the band. Let's have some of your ideas. It can't just be your energy. We want to know what you've got to bring to the table as well. And they bring some bits here and there. I'd like them to bring a little bit more, but for the most part it's me and Andrew. And sometimes we work at home and create as much stuff as we can at home, then get together in the rehearsal room, excuse me, and start to construct a song. In the olden days, we go to rehearsal, jam away, see what happens, and the songs grow from that environment. We've all got hardware which allows us to record things at home a lot better than we used to back in the day. So we write at home quite a lot, and then bring all the well-constructed material to the rehearsal room and start to put that together there. So that's what we're doing right now. Everybody's got little bits recorded at home. We'll arrange a rehearsal next week or the week after, and we'll bring all these ideas together, put out the rubbish ideas, and keep the good ones, hopefully put a couple of songs together. But we are rehearsing the old songs as well, because we've got 3 shows in September in the UK. the HRH shows, one in London and one in Leeds. And those will be our first shows in 4 years. So, kind of like comeback gigs for us.
Yeah, I bet you're really excited about it, especially after, having so much time off from it. I bet you missed the live experience.
Well, not so much, because I don't really like playing live.
Do you not?
Not so much. It's hard work. And it really kind of messes with your mind, standing in front of thousands of people, singing songs that are written from your heart. It's difficult sometimes to do that. We're not a traditional rock and roll band. We don't run on stage sticking Black Daniels, leather trousers, shouting, "Hey, yeah!" We smooch on, all embarrassed that we're even here, and we do our thing. And we say thank you at the end, then we move off the stage and we disappear for a few years and then we come back again.
Yeah, that's very true. Okay, that's really interesting. That's really interesting actually. But I've seen you a few times. I think the first place I actually saw you guys was Woodstock was indoor.
Oh yeah.
And I was tour manager for Iron Gathering then, so they were playing the same night. And that's when I saw you live for the first time. I was absolutely blown away. I was like, wow, this is really good. And,
right, a long time ago.
Yeah, that was a while ago. And then I think I went to see you, the time after that. But yeah, and when I saw that you were at HRH, I thought, wow, I'm going to have to go to that.
Yeah, it's funny, the Bloodstock thing, when it was doing indoor festival, that must be over 10 years ago now, right?
Yeah.
Quite a while. It's strange because we've approached the Bloodstock people since, saying it'd be quite nice to play there again. And it clearly must be different management. They're like, we don't really know my down guys that we'll put you on like a Thursday afternoon at 2 o'clock or something like that. And it's like, isn't that where some bands who are trying to make a name for themselves? Whereas a more established band who's headlined your festival in the past, are we not sort of Friday night material? Clearly not. Which is a bit of a shame. But that's the way of the world. It's nice to know we were that band to play Bloodstock when it was an indoor festival. Yeah, it would be great.
Yeah. Okay then, so in terms of your favourite show, I suppose, in all the years you've been in My Dying Bride, what would have been your peak moment, I think, the best moments that you've had?
We had a lot of problems with Iron Maiden. We did 4 or 5 weeks around Europe. And that was amazing. And when we went to America to Johnny James Dio, and that was incredible. Metallica invited us to Athens, played in Greece. That was unbelievable as well. So we've had some amazing live events, truly life-changing experiences, because these bands are all people we look up to. So to get the opportunity to share the stage with them is incredible. Just amazing, and I'm kind of hoping that in the future there's another good band we look up to who might look down on My Dying Bride and say, hey, you guys are alright, come and join us on tour, and we go again with somebody else.
Yeah, that sounds great, absolutely. So in terms of what other things do you do as a band then? Are you the kind of band that hangs out with each other a lot, or is it something that you now and again when you talk or drinks?
We don't meet up as used to, because as you grow older, you develop families, mortgages, and jobs, and your family circle expands because of those things. So you can't muck about with each other all the time like you used to be when you were young. I'm lucky I do more of Sean, the violin player, and Neil, the new guitar player, because they live very close to me. Raina lives a bit further away, similar to Andrew, and drummer Jeff lives in Manchester, which is an hour away. So no, we don't really socialise that much. Because of events like when we launched the Hindsman, then obviously we all come together for an event like that. But it's not like if I went to the pub on Saturday and sent a message to them all. Okay, Sean and Neil will probably turn up. Andrew probably can't be bothered. He's in his slippers doing something more exciting, and the other guys are a bit too far away. So no, we don't socialise that much. We weren't allowed to because of the pandemic. But things are opening up a bit more now, and we'll have to see more of each other because we weren't sure if our age code were 100% confident in going ahead. So we haven't been properly for them. Once we realised they are definitely 100% happening, we got the excitable nerves, and we've realised we're going to have to start rehearsing properly now. So we are going to do a lot more of each other in the next few weeks in the build-up to these live shows. Because, Jeff and Neil, despite being in the band for over 2 years, have never played live with us. So the new lineup is the new label, it's the new album, and when we get on stage in September, that'll be 4 years ago since we last go live. That's a long time. So I'm not sure how we're going to take it. It might be amazing, and our adrenaline will be on overflow, and it could be the most exciting thing we've done in years. Or it could just be same old. But I'm hoping for a both because we've got new members, we say new songs, and I'm hoping for the euphoric feeling that we've returned. We've been away for such a long time, and we're finally back to meet people face to face and perform music for them again.
Oh, absolutely. I suppose it's one of them things, isn't it? You just got to wait and see. And I reckon it'll be amazing because every time I've seen you guys, you've always been on form. So I'm sure your fans will be very excited to see you as well.
Well, let's hope.
Yeah. That's it. So, as an individual then, what are the things that you like to do as hobbies?
Ooh, I like to read and relax because I'm a gentleman of a certain age, and doing fun things is not behind me. But I think when you have a child, you do less risky things because you understand that you've got to live the life look after family members. And because she's been through so much turmoil, I don't do anything risky or potentially life-threatening. So I think reading poetry and a lot of the books and listening to music, watching movies, and I'm trying to be a bit more creative because I've just upgraded my website, which hadn't been touched for 4 years. I finally relaunched that, but I haven't made a big song and dance about it yet because I just need to go through it to make sure there's no broken links, etc. And on that is photography and my artwork, but I've not added anything new for years. So I need to find those creative juices again, get the paintwork and the canvases out and start painting again, and try and get a bit more creative again and spend time pouring out my thoughts into my own poetry and my own artwork, and try and enjoy life a bit more because we had my daughter had cancer, and then we had the pandemic, and so things were already flipped for like 4 years, hence we haven't played live. And I can just feel like I'm a flower starting to grow again now. So I feel I've got things to offer and things to give. Whereas for the last 4 years, I've just felt like I've been in a cocoon. And I'm coming out of it now, I think.
That's lovely to hear that you are. And it's it's really cool that you read and you've got all this creative stuff going on, and you certainly love poetry, and art and all that kind of stuff as well.
Yeah, I'm actually looking for a publisher for my book. I've been fishing around various publishers and friends and who have you. I've been writing for years, but I've left it in notebooks. And I thought, well, if you want this to go to the public, then you need to type it all up into Word or whatever format it might be, and then send it to publishers and try and get a book actually made. So this week and last week I've been doing that, just seeing if anyone's interested. There's a couple of interesting lists that I'm looking at. But yeah, in the future, possibly not this year, but next year, hopefully the book will be out.
Oh, that'd be amazing. That'd be really good. Yeah, do let me know. I know when that's out, because really big on reading and very big on literature and art and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, we'll do.
So in terms of, when you're writing a My Dying Bride song, are you inspired by art? Is it sort of a story that's going on in your head, or is it something that maybe you're in a certain mood and it just kind of comes out, through the creative process? How does that work for you?
It depends on what mood I'm in. If I'm in a storytelling mood, then I'll write a lyric with defined narrative of a start, a middle, and an end. And the characters, sometimes have names, and they may go on a journey, which inevitably is not going to end well. And then it's a conclusion. So when you sing a song like that and you present it on an album, and people listen to it, they enjoy the story, they go along for the ride. And that's fine. And other times, for a more, not surreal approach, more of a, I have something to say, but it's complicated, or it's personal, and I can't get it down in a story form, so I just write down my thoughts, and what's in my heart, and what's nagging at my brain, and I write, sometimes it looks a little bit like it doesn't make a whole lot of sense, but it still reads well. You know what I mean? You sort of say to people, look, that's how I think. That's how I thought when I wrote that. Read between the lines, and there'll be things you can identify with somewhere in that song. So some songs are difficult to explain because the thoughts that come out of you just bish, bash, bosh. And other ones are nice little stories with a start and an end. It absolutely, whatever takes my fancy at the time. So there's no real format. Start writing, and I never know how it's going to end or when it's going to end. You might just write 8 lines and think, that's finished. It's not going to be a very long song, so therefore it's not a lyric anymore. Perhaps it's a poem, and I'll not give it to my dying bride. And other times, I think I might write a story, and it wanders wildly off track. That it becomes a surreal piece of madness, which may or may not be a song for my dying bride. So, and actually, when I do read a book, half the poems in the book I started out as lyrics for my dying bride. I chose not to give them to the band at some point, and so kept them for myself.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. Sorry about that, my camera just went a bit strange there. But yeah, no, that sounds really good. And the thing about it is, I know when I'm writing poetry, I usually get a mood like what you were saying as well. And what I really like about My Dying Bride is you've got spoken word stuff in there as well.
Yeah.
And especially, and so, in the early albums, From a Fallen Angel, for example, absolutely beautiful track, and that violin as well. And that track was amazing.
We're lucky that we can get away with stuff like that. It's harder for a more traditional metal or rock band to get away with that. But because we've been doing stuff like that for years, we can. And if I've written a piece, and in my mind, what's up, people?
Johnny Chadwick Rough and Rude is a Savage Lady fan.
Oh my gosh. There we go.
Okay.
We've got a Johnny in the house. This is Johnny Chadwick. He also does the interviews with meet and greets.
Oh,
And
cool.
sometimes he pops up now and again when I'm doing them. And it's really quite funny. He's so Johnny used to do a show called What's Hot in America, and he used to interview bands like Megadeth and things like that.
Yeah.
How are you doing, Johnny? You all good?
Oh, I'm all good. I just recuperated. Look, I got my favorite shirt on. I'm telling you, my nipples are hard. I'm kicking ass.
So yeah, we've got Johnny in the house as well. So Johnny's from Ragebreed as well, Aaron.
Okay.
How you doing, Aaron?
Sound as a pound, Johnny. Sound as a pound. Nice to see you.
Nice seeing you, brother. Where are you stationed at?
200 miles north of London, in Yorkshire.
I'm coming. We're going to get shit-faced.
Sounds like a plan.
Sounds like a promise.
Yeah.
Really
Well, we've got our own beer, Johnny.
yeah.
So we'll have
Awesome.
a pint of old earth.
Defo.
Awesome.
Yeah, so they've just released a really cool beer called Old Earth, which is you've been advertising, haven't you, Aaron? That's been really good.
Yeah, we released it during the pandemic, which was the wrong time to release anything, really. We couldn't help it. It needed to come out then, and it just did. But we're going to have a second launch party where we can actually invite people this time. Go to the brewery, which is in Halifax, just 3 miles that way, and sort of celebrate properly with the beer, with friends, with family, and with the people who made the beer for us. So that's what we're going to do the next few weeks. So you'll have to come up and join us, Karina.
Yeah, we'll do, absolutely. It'd be great.
Might be a bit far for Johnny.
Hey, I'm just a boat ride away.
It's a long boat ride.
Because he's from Germany, you know. Well, you were actually in the States, weren't you, before, Johnny? You were like...
Yeah.
You were doing the What's Hot.
Orlando, Florida.
Yeah. You had a show which was on after Sabrina, if I remember right. Wasn't it?
Yeah, it was on WB18 Warner Brothers.
Yeah, I remember.
Nice.
Yeah. So it's kind of cool. But yeah, you're based in Germany now, aren't you? So you're
Based in Germany, but we will be in England soon because we signed with the baddest, raddest record label that exists, Ragebreed Records.
Johnny's
Nice
now
one.
on my label. So yeah, that's awesome.
So I got a free drink on that one. I'm kidding.
He's wearing Savage Ladies of Metal, Aaron, because he wants to be a Savage girl. I'm also a model for Savage Lady of Metal and a brand ambassador.
Okay.
Oh, Johnny's like,
I'm even practicing to be a Savage Lady because I got a what do you call it? A slip.
oh God.
Where's this going?
I know, this is what I'm thinking, Aaron.
Are you sure you want to go there?
No.
Oh, come on, man. Show some courage.
It's not my show. It doesn't matter. Anything can happen.
Hey, it's rock and roll, man. We're all here to have fun.
Damn right.
So I got me some maxi pads, so I'm training to be a Savage Lady.
You'll have to enlighten me. I'm not that familiar with Savage Ladies. What's going on there? What is that?
Oh, should I explain or should you?
I'll explain, Johnny, just in case you lower the tone a bit there. Joking. But, Savage Ladies of Metal is basically a bit like what we have, as Ragebreed girls. We kind of promote bands from all over the world, we wear their merch, we promote shows and things like that. Savage Ladies is similar. It's Fran who actually runs it, and I work for her, and it's really funny because she also is a Ragebreed girl and she works for me, but the whole purpose of the whole thing is to promote bands basically, and their gigs and shows and things like that. So we do a bit of brand affiliation, modelling and things like that, just to wear their tops and what have you. So we're trying to get the names out of Ragebreed and Savage. So Johnny decided he wanted a Savage Lady of Metal top.
Okay. It's pretty shoot.
I do want to wear this on the video, but my gut is hanging out. I don't want to wear that one. So
I need to fix it. We haven't played live for 4 years. And over that time, I haven't exactly let myself go, but I haven't let myself particularly in going shape either. And with the first gigs coming up in the end of September, I need to start eating better, drinking a bit more, and just trying to get ready for when you go on stage. It's like really hot, and you're performing for an hour and a half, and you're moving around and singing and dancing, and if you're out of shape, you're going to look hot and sweaty and out of shape, and I might need oxygen and a chair, and I'm trying to avoid those things.
Yeah.
well, see, I'm exercising almost every second night. I'm running from bars to bars, so I'm doing good. So, but I just came back from the doctors, had a full checkup. The doctor told me, Johnny, you're healthy as shit. Everything is good. If you really try, you can make it be 150. And I told him, I said, if you threaten me one more time, we're going to get into it.
Nice one.
But everything's cool. No, I just wanted to pop in and say, hey, girls. And I want to hear your music, girl. Can't wait to hear it. Can't wait to see your stuff. And sweetheart, we'll talk very soon.
Okay then. Thanks for coming.
Johnny!
Love, peace, and hot dogs.
Yeah, buddy!
See you soon.
Bye. Bye, sweetie.
Bye. Yeah, he sometimes pops onto meet and greets now and again. And,
Right.
And Johnny has been a really big supporter of Ragebreed. He's done a lot for what we've been doing and everything. So
Right.
yeah, it's all good.
I can't remember what we were talking about before Johnny arrived.
No.
My mind doesn't work quite as well as that, so we should move on.
Absolutely. Okay, so I think we were talking about the promoting process and the mood of Is this you?
I don't know, the microphone is making some very strange noises, and I can't tell if it's me or you, but I've never been on this format before, message room, the live thing. For me, I've done Zoom, and I've done Skype, and that's about it. And my mic and camera have worked fine, clearly not quite calibrated for this format, so I might have to press some buttons, but every time I press the button, it goes pear-shaped.
Oh God, no, same here. You know, earlier on when you were talking and I pressed a button and it showed the wall for a bit, I was like, oh no. So I'm getting used to this format as well. The reason why we do it is because it's already synced in with Ragebreed Global Group, if that makes sense. So that's the reason why we do it.
Okay.
So everyone on the group can see what we're doing, you see.
Right.
And they can sort of check in and get into it. So.
Right, I'm just gonna select a different microphone. Hang on a sec. Okay. No, that's doing the same. Audio. Yeah. I start messing with this in a go. I'll just leave that.
Yeah, leave it. It's alright. I can hear you. It's fine.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Right then. So, one of the things I wanted to ask you as well was, you know, with all the albums that you've released, which one is the most personal to you and why?
Ooh, good question. The first one's always going to hold a place in your heart because it's your first album.
Yeah.
So that's always going to be there. But of course, we had such a small budget doing the first album. You know, the production quality is not brilliant. But because Peaceville was so good to us, all the ideas we brought to the table, they accepted. They didn't look at some of the songs and say, they're too long. Why are you writing the acting? Can you stop it? They never said any of that. They let us do everything we wanted. So the songs and their content are exactly what My Dying Bride was at that time. I just wish we had a bigger budget because the production's not brilliant. So that's the first one. The latest one as well, because it's the first album that I wrote, The Ghost of Orion, after my daughter's illness. So hence the song Tired of Tears. So that's a personal album for me because of the mad shitstorm we had to live through for nearly 2 years. So that's more of a painful album to listen to. I try not to listen to the new album because it just takes me back to that time, and I would prefer not to be taken back on that journey. So despite being a current album and an album we're supposed to be promoting, I don't listen to it very much, just because. And I suppose one of my favourite albums for a long time was The Dreadful Hours, which was kind of mid-period, I suppose. And I just liked that one because, again, the production was great, the songs were great, and everything came together at the right time for that album. And for me, it's one of the albums where every song is strong from start to finish. And so I've adored it for such a long time. So I can't pick one, I'll pick three, because I'm greedy. I suppose when you've had so many albums out, it's harder to single out which one does this and which one does that. If you'd have asked me this question 25 years ago, we only had 3 albums, that would be dead easy. But when you've had about 15 albums out, it's tricky.
It must be hard to pick, yeah, no, I mean, I think the fact that you've got such a great discography as well, and, you know, the songs are so, I mean, put it this way, I think My Dying Bride has probably been one of my influences along with bands like Liquid Core, Paradise Lost, Opeth as well. And so bringing me to really the next question is, you know, when it comes to your influences, because obviously it's really strange because I'm talking to one of my influences, but what have been your influences, you know, in terms of music-wise?
Well, I'm still a little bit of a sucker for opera. I like a bit of opera. Not Opera Winfrey, opera the music. No, all of it, you know. There's a lot out there, and some of it's brilliant, and some of it's average. I love Nick Cave and the Bad Seeds.
Yeah,
I still love, particularly early Depeche Mode.
Yeah.
Dead Can Dance.
Oh, brilliant band, yeah.
Gosh, what else? I mean, the band that helped form My Dying Bride, the influences in the early days, so I still like Celtic Frost. I still like early Metallica, early Candlemass. Because listening to those bands back then made me think, I want to do that.
Yeah.
But that was 35 years ago. I'd say recently it's more like Nick Cave and things like that. Sorry, I should have turned my email thing. I mean, I've got all sorts of musical tastes. It doesn't mean that everything you listen to influences you. And sometimes it can guide you and plant a little seed in your head. And you think, that's a great idea. I might somehow shoehorn someone else's idea into My Dying Bride. But you need to disguise it. You can't copy someone. Everybody will stop it. There's no point even trying. But you can listen to other people's music, and it just makes you think, right, okay, I think I might be thinking a little bit along those lines.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've got tons of, in fact, I don't forget vocals on this Forever Autumn album.
Oh, wow.
The album's called, well, the EP is called Hail the Forest Dark. And I listened to some of Forever Autumn's music, and I just thought, that's really great as well. I want to do something a bit like that, and now we're working together. So it's also nice when you pick out something really good, and that you think, this is something I want to do, and you are able to contact the person and make things work. That's logical when something like that happens. It doesn't happen often enough, unfortunately. But most of the time, you can't get hold of people. You know, they've got record label people in the way, they've got management in the way, and you try and approach them, and you're never going to get anywhere near them. Once or twice you'll get to work with people. So it's worth asking the question, because one day someone's going to say yes.
Yeah, definitely, yeah. And I like the fact that you mentioned Dead Can Dance, because, you know, it's wow, what a band. I mean, I remember when I was listening to Children of the Sun. It's a track that they've got, and there's one of my favourite tracks by them. It's called, I think it's either Kaiko or Kiko. Not sure how you pronounce that. Yeah. But that one really inspired me to do Lake of Dreams stuff as well. So yeah, really good influences there.
Yeah, I love that. I've sadly never seen them live, but they're still going, so maybe one day.
Yeah, they're such a good band. And the thing is, I really like Lisa Gerrard's voice as well. I think when she's done things like, for example, I don't know if you saw Gladiator, the movie, and she did you know, that kind of music in that. I thought it was spectacular.
Yeah, she's got the most amazing voice.
Yeah,
I think I prefer her singing than Brendan's. So Brendan's got a great voice as well, but it's the music. The music is so haunting. When you listen to it, it tears on your arm, standing up, and it's dreamy, and it takes you on an exotic journey, somewhere away from your average 9-to-5, day-to-day, drudgery life. And it takes you on an exotic journey into places unknown, and even languages discovered. And it's just... They're such an inspirational band. Unfortunately, I can't shoehorn any of their great ideas into My Dying Bride. It just doesn't quite work. But still, great band.
Yeah, absolutely. I think with bands like that, though, it's like they can capture atmosphere, which I think My Dying Bride do. You know, you do bring a lot of atmosphere into music, which is why I think, you know, you're one of these really original bands out there that do that well. Because I think there's a lot of bands out there that try to do it, but they don't sort of get it right. Whereas the stuff that you release, there's always sort of an ambience behind it. You know, you can see that you've got some influences from you know, the various things that you just mentioned, you know, in the music. So,
yeah, and we've been lucky. We were on Peaceful Records for 22, 23 years. And Peaceful never ever told us to do it differently. They never tried to shoehorn us into a particular genre. They allowed us complete artistic freedom. And we took that and we ran with it, and we tried some experimental stuff. Other bands are just not going to get away with it. But because we were doing daft stuff years and years ago, people expect it from us now. And if we don't do something a little bit quirky, people are a bit dismayed as to why we're not doing quirky stuff anymore. Like you mentioned in relation sometimes, in fact this is getting to the point just before when Johnny's going to, when I've written a certain lyric, I'm reading it and I'm thinking, I don't want drums on this. And I'm trying to figure out in my mind how we're going to work these lyrics into a song. And then I realise it doesn't have to be a song. The guys can create a piece of music, and sometimes I'm thinking, I don't really want guitars either. I'm talking keyboard, violin, maybe some bass in the background, and let's get a cellist in, and they can write a piece of music based on the mood of my lyrics, and I'm not going to sing the lyrics, I'm just going to read them out. And it depends, that's very much what I did. We did a very quirky album called Evinta, which was all classical music, which had a lot of spoken word on it. And there were 3 CDs, Evinta 1, Evinta 2, Evinta 3. 3 CDs filled with all this amazing orchestral music. Some of it's bits of My Dying Bride, some of it's brand new, and all new lyrics. And it was a great project because I just got to write anything I wanted, and it was fantastic.
Yeah. Do you know? I don't know if you're aware. Do you remember there's like a band called Arion, and they had loads of different people come in to do parts of it. I don't know if you ever heard that.
I think I must have. It rings a bell.
Yeah, and that was quite cool because they had loads of different sort of themes, and they brought loads of musicians from different bands in and did like so there'll be something like say called Pain and what they did is they put loads of different dynamic in there, which was really interesting. It reminded me, you know, how you were mentioning this 3 CD thing, you know, where you could be quite artistic and what you want to write. Yeah.
Well, you're lucky. Some bands, they're kind of stuck in a format, which is guitars, bass, drums, and vocals, and they're lucky if they can do it with a keyboard. You know, we had a violin right from almost the very start, and keyboards, so we've been able to orchestrate rather than just write songs. And we had female vocals ages ago, and just we took loads of weird ideas and kept throwing them at the band constantly. We're still doing it today. You know, on the last album we had Joe Quayle doing Hello. And Jo Quayle's an artist in her own right, and she's got her own CDs out, and she played at, oh God, what's the festival in Leeds? Damnation Festival in November every year. Even though Jo plays cello, she's playing a heavy metal festival, and the venue was packed, and everybody loved it. It was absolutely amazing. But it's nice if you can drag somebody like that and pop them on your record, because not just for fun, not just to show off her talents. It's got to fit with My Dying Bride. There's no point getting a famous trumpet player to do a bit on My Dying Bride. It's not going to work. You know, the trumpet in My Dying Bride doesn't really work, but the cello works beautifully. So, you know, you bring that in and it works. Oh God, I've forgotten her name. The lady from Vodruna.
Oh yes, I know who you mean.
Oh,
incredible band.
God, this is embarrassing. Lindy Faye-Muller.
Yeah,
That's it. Yeah. And again, you don't just bring people in so you can tell everyone, oh look, we've got Lindy Faye on our album, aren't we clever? Her voice fits so perfectly with My Dying Bride. We had to have her on the album, and it worked in absolute treat. It was amazing. So having guest musicians is fun and exciting, but it has to be part of the ingredients. You can't just chuck people at it if the instrument or the talent they bring is forced into the music just for show.
No, I understand that. Yeah, absolutely. And you know, Jo Quayle, I think I saw her at World Metal Congress as well, and that was a stunning show. I mean, I was really blown away. I think that was the first time I ever saw her, and I was literally blown away by her stuff. I was really, you know, that's probably one of the most, I suppose, original gigs I've gone to, because it was so powerful in what she was doing, and it's interesting that you can use other instruments to create that ambience, that, you know, beautiful, you know, I was just literally blown away by her. I think she's a really good artist.
Yeah, because when you tell people she plays cello, they might think, oh, really, just a cello thing. She has these looping techniques, and she adds a different sound to every loop. And by the end of the song, there's 100 different sounds all happening in this same loop, and she's developed all of them by plucking at strings, tapping with the bow, as well as drawing it across the strings. And she's added all these elements over the song, and constructing it as it rolls along, live in front of an audience. It's mesmerising.
Yeah, really good. And when you mentioned Vodruna as well, I mean, I remember listening to them for the first time, and it was something so different from the usual, and they're so well known in the metal scene as well, you know, even though you wouldn't really class them as metal, they're like sort of pagan folk, really, aren't they? They're sort of,
yeah. But I think the metal fans are very broad-minded. They are quite happy to let these others in who don't, you know, because when you think of metal, you're thinking Marshall speakers, distorted guitars, and that is the traditional look of metal. But I think the scene are so broad-minded that they will happily let Joe Quayle and Wardruna and Elend and the bands who are doing stuff that's simply not even metal, but it has ingredients that appeal to metalheads. And so you see all of these weird acts appearing at metal festivals, and everybody loves them.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's a bit like, I mean, I'm in obviously Mindlapse, and that's the sort of death metal kind of stuff. But then you've got Lake of Dreams, which is completely different, which is like really ambient, really soft, acoustic, taking folk type of thing going on. And the reason why I do it is because I love it all. I can't just stick to just one thing and just say, right, because I think, I don't know, it's like when you were saying, you know, having that artistic freedom to be able to do what you really enjoy, you know, it's important. And I think, you know, it's like, you know, when you, if you're a true artist, you won't always just stick to one boundary, you need to explore it further. And, you know, it's interesting what you've said as well during this interview, because I really do relate to that, you know, whereby you love your poetry and you love reading and things like that. And I think all these things are such an inspiration in terms of they can actually bring a new element to your music, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Things that you write, and I think that's absolutely what you find with My Dying Bride, and like you were saying with spoken word and all that kind of stuff. Are there any of the members in the band that enjoy, you know, the spoken word aspect? Do they do any poetry, or is it just yourself?
I think it's just me.
Is it?
Yeah, I invited Sean. He lives right next to Halifax, and I was going in one evening because there is a poetry open mic night called Spoken Weird, which is wonderful, and it's hosted by Genevieve Wolf, and she herself is a poet, and so she lives in Compare, and there's like a headlining act, and a few other names that always show up and are very good. But you can also put your name down, and you can stand up there and do your own stuff if you want. So I invited Sean down saying, this was the first time I ever went. You couldn't join me, we'll have a beer and let's see what this is all about. And we sat through the first half, and I loved it, and Sean was remaining quiet. Well, we all were quiet because we're listening to somebody, you know, doing their thing. And at half time, I thought, that was great, should we have another drink? No, I'm going home now. It's just not his cup of tea at all. So he plodded off home, and I stayed and watched the rest of it. I've been going every month. It's every Thursday, every third Thursday, I think, in the month. I think it might be this Thursday as well. And I go down and I just sit there and I have a beer or a wine, and you listen to people who, for the most part, are shitting themselves, because when they're reading their own poetry out, a lot of poetry comes straight from the heart, and it's quite personal. And if you're standing there, naked as the day you were born, trying to read your poetry to a bunch of strangers, that takes a lot of guts. I've not put my name down, I've not had a go yet, because I find it easier to stand in front of 50,000 people and sing than I do standing in front of 10 people and reading poetry. So for me, those poets are a lot braver than I am, and they might say, oh God, no, we couldn't stand on stage in front of 50,000 people. I'm lucky I've got a big noisy band, you know, my bandmates, my team, and when the whole team are together, I think you kind of know that not everybody's looking at me. They're looking at what Lane is doing, they're looking to see what Jeff's doing behind the pit, you know, they're looking at what's going on stage. When you're the only person there, and you're reading out your poetry in a pub in Halifax, you might as well be naked, because it's such a difficult. Everybody's looking right at you, and they are judging the words that you've written directly from your heart. And sometimes, you know, those are difficult words to get out. So to be able to do that in front of strangers gets my applause every time.
Yeah, and it is such a vulnerable thing, isn't it? Really, when
Oh,
you
yeah.
think poetry in general. It is really everything that you feel written and expressed in such an artistic format. And some people get it, and some people really don't.
Yeah.
And and I've come across sort of both. They're like, oh, I know it's good, but I don't really understand it.
Oh yeah, that's what I'm worried about, is that I might get up there and read some of my crazy dark shit out, and people are going to be like, this guy needs attention, this guy needs help. You know what I mean? Because quite often there's a large amount of the poetry is quite contemporary and angry at the world today. And bitter at why we have to do this and taxes and all, contemporary shit. And I'm a bit old school. I'm coming up and I'm reading from the poetry book of Byron, and it's all boxes of chocolates and roses and all, the old school fancy stuff. Everyone else is bitterly shouting about politics and stuff, and I'm thinking mine might be out of place. So I think I'm watching it and seeing if the theme moves away a little bit from the mess that the world's in today, and shuffles a little bit more towards sort of old school poetry, and then I might have a go at it.
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of it as well. I mean, we do this section in Ragebreed magazine called Bohemia, and we also do that on Ragebreed Radio as well. And it's for people who are poets, because I think there's a lot of people out there, and especially singers like yourself as well that do spoken word. And I must admit, I find it really, I feel it's really wonderful to meet people that actually do that side of things as well, because there's a lady called Jules White, and she's from a band called Effigy and Paint, and she does spoken word, and it hadn't been really done live before, on the Facebook and things like that, and it really made me realise, there are a lot of people in the rock and metal scene, like in black metal bands and the heavy stuff, that have this real gift of poetry and spoken word and stuff. But I agree with you, because it does take guts to actually bring that into the forefront, because like you say, it is more vulnerable, more personal. Some people get it, some people won't.
Yeah.
I mean, I've got 2 poetry books published. One's called The Black Forest, and one is called Le Dieu Zenith. And some people get it, some people won't, and it's just that way.
Well, it's the same way, obviously when I'm approaching publishing, the first thing they say, send me some of your work, and you sort of think, alright, oh god, this is the hard bit now. We're now crossing the threshold when I have to share the stuff that I've spent years writing with somebody else.
Yeah.
And it's all, poetry is so subjective. What to you is an outpouring of your own dark and menacing thoughts can often mean absolutely nothing to somebody else. And they might read it and go, I've read a million things like that before, I'm not interested. And so I sent some of my work off last week, and I'm kind of hoping this week I might get some positive replies, and if not, then I'll just keep doing it. And if I have to self-publish, I'll self-publish, because I understand that poetry is not for everybody, and I understand the rules of doing poetry, and I don't stick to them, because when I'm writing, half the time I've got a lump in my throat and I've got tears in my eyes, and I have to get the words down, or the moment is broken. And if I'm stopping, saying, the stanza's not quite correctly, there's 7 words in that line and 12 in that line, and it's not sticking to the formula. The rules of poetry, you've lost the moment. So I can't do that. I have to write with passion. When you write with passion, the rule book fucks off out the window.
Oh, it does. And it's kind of, sometimes I've written something and I thought, should I put that in? Is it will people like, but then I think, do you know what, screw people, I'm just gonna write what feels right.
Yeah.
And you know, as long as you read it and you think that's for me, and as long as it's authentic to you, you know, and you think this is something that I understand it, I get it, kind of thing, you know. But there has been times when I think, oh my god, that's brutal. I don't know if you have.
Yes.
I mean, I remember when I first did the Black Forest and stuff, and you know how you were saying there's some albums where you go back and you kind of don't really want to revisit it because of the major and when I read some of my poetry in the Black Forest, I'm like, oh my god. I go back and think, oh, what a place I was in then, you know. I do think though, when it comes to art and music and poetry, it is like a healing. It is like a sort of a cathartic, thing, isn't it? I mean, I don't know if it's been helping you, but it certainly helps me, you know, if I feel a little bit down in the dumps and stuff, and then what I do is, you know, I write so much, you know, and...
it's the same as most people with the lyrics for my own life. I couldn't sit here now, write lyrics for my own life, because I'm not in the mood. You've got to be in a certain place within yourself to be able to get that outpouring of verse. It's not on tap. You don't just turn it on, boom, 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 brilliant. You can go month to month without writing anything. Probably because you're having a good time. And it's when things aren't so great when you start to write more. So it's just, that's the way it is with the style of writing that I do.
Yeah. Have you ever had a situation where you felt good and you wanted to write about it? It's interesting, isn't it, that we tend to write when it's more... Is it because do you think that the mood is more intense, perhaps, when you're feeling down?
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of nice poetry out there. I've got tons of poetry books, and it's like one of my favourite ones. It's all about... It's a compilation book all about enjoying being in a garden. So whether you're a gardener, or whether you like walking through gardens, or whether it's looking at flowers, or each season as it goes by, how the garden changes, relaxing in the sun with a gin and tonic and a good book. It's poem after poem, feel good, horticultural poetry, which is not normally my cup of tea. And I read it, and it's got wonderful illustrations in it as well. And it's just a nice, you smile when you read each one of them, and it's got a warm, summery feel to it. It's all strawberries and cream. And it's lovely, but I don't feel compelled to write that kind of stuff myself. Despite enjoying it, I can't write like that.
Yeah, I tried to write something like that once, and I couldn't do it. I was...
No. You might start off, you know, it's the classic, I wandered lonely as a cloud. And people, oh, that's lovely, and then it nosedives immediately into some real black, dark place. Because they all do.
I know exactly what you mean. I started off putting something like the sunset did this and or whatever, and then it went straight down.
Yeah.
I was like, there it is.
Yeah, that's the way it works. There's nothing wrong with that. That's the way it is. And that's why you get rejection letters from publishers, because they read it and they probably know, yeah, it's personal for you, we appreciate that, but we can't sell it. It's not commercial enough. I'm also adding to the fact that, you know, right, I've been writing lyrics in my own life for 30 years, and I suspect that if you like my Dying Bride lyrics, you're going to love my poetry, because it's the same thing. And therefore, I mentioned in my email to the potential publisher, there's a fan base already there who will buy X amount of books. So, let's see if there's any sway whatsoever in that. Because then, you know, a publisher might say, alright, it's not our cup of tea, but we've done our research into My Dying Bride, we've got thousands of fans, let's make the book, and it'll sell.
Yeah.
Or will it? You just don't know.
I reckon if you put it on, I think it definitely would sell.
You'll have to give me your pictures, the people who made your book, and maybe I can approach them.
I'll speak to them. I mean, mine was done abroad, but there's the one that I've done with Nadir to Zenith, that's self-published. And what I did with that was I made it into a flip book, and
Okay.
so that's really cool because it's kind of like a digital flip book. So what you do is it's password protected. It's a bit like how we do Ragebreed magazine, and it just meant that I could put some of my illustrations in. So I put my abstract art in there as well. So you've got a poem and then you've got like a strange image like in there as well. So that's the reason why I did it, because I had full control on the artwork and everything. And so that's how I've done the second book. But I do know that Amazon is probably a good way to go with things like that.
I know, I've looked at all of it. They look like marvellous. It's a great way of doing self-publishing. And I like most of everything that they do. And as I say, that's why I'm not overly, I won't be destroyed if the publishers come back and say it's not our cup of tea, Aaron, no thanks. Because I know Amazon has their rating anyway, and it's going to come out. It's just, I think it's worth having a chat with the publisher first, because they might give you a bit more feedback on, I don't know, certain ways to develop your book, and that's all valuable feedback. So whatever the rejection message might be, if they've got a bit of feedback in there, they're all welcome.
Yeah, well that's it. I mean, I think there's a difference, isn't there, between someone being particularly nasty than actual proper feedback, where it's, I understand that.
Yeah, it's got to be constructive feedback. Even if you ignore it, you'll kind of, well, you won't be able to ignore it. You'll be like, yeah, you don't know what you're talking about, and then you later on, next time you write your next poem, you'll think, oh, okay, I'll do it there a little bit, see what happens.
That's so true. It's kind of like, I remember someone said to me something once, and I was like, oh, you don't think something about, you got your ego trapped there, and then you think about it, and you think, actually you did it right. And then I try it, and then the thing is like this is strange, isn't it? Even though it might cause a reaction in you, sometimes it can, grow you as a person and grow you as an artist, as a writer. Other times I think some people can just be saying things or just to say them, because everyone's got a different opinion on things. It's a bit like reviews, isn't it? I mean, if you gave a reviewer, say, who's into, really heavy stuff, and then gave him sort of, something very soft, and he's not really into that, he would review it differently to say someone who's really into that kind of style. So it depends as well on where you're sending your stuff off to.
Well, that's why when I've asked around, people have been published by particularly obscure publishers. So that when my material arrives, it's not going to blow their mind. They're already linked to the world of rock music anyway. So it's, you're not going to approach, I don't know, Mills and Boon. So here's some of my dark poetry. No, you know what I mean? It's a dead end street. So you look at who's doing what that's somehow related to your genre, and you start there.
My Dying Bride, are you writing any new albums at all, or in the process of making anything new, or are you having a backseat now for a while?
Well, I'm having a backseat. The rest of the band are writing the new album, because they don't need me at this point. Because it's very, very early. We don't have a single song written, but we've got quite a lot of ideas. It's like having a jigsaw. You've got loads of bits, but you need to put them together into a coherent piece of music. It's kind of a nice thing, we're playing with all, we've got loads of great ideas. Andy plays the riff, amazing. Sean puts some violin on, even amazing. Neil plays a harmony, oh, it's fantastic. And then we stop. because we can't glue it to another piece. And so we've got all these great ideas scattered all over the place, and we need to focus a bit more and try and put them together. But we've got no deadlines to do a new album. The record label are tracking the whip, and we've got to rehearse for the iPhones. So we're not hard at writing a new album. We're just kind of doing it in our spare time when we can be bothered, which is quite a nice process.
Yeah, no, I was going to say it sounds like it's like a really nice, go with the flow kind of thing with the new stuff you're writing.
Yeah, definitely. But it's great that the record label are saying, come on, we've got a window of opportunity to release your album in March 2022. They don't do that, which is brilliant. They could sort of say, I've been so patient with the Snitch of Glass, I think amazing. It's just ready when it's ready.
Yeah, and that's good for an artist, I think, because like you're saying, it's not something that you can switch on. It is down to mood, isn't it? It is down to when you get those vibes in order to write. So that's really cool. Definitely. A good label that really good like that. Because there are some labels that are very sort of, here's the deadline, you need to do this,
Yeah, we're lucky, we've heard nightmare stories from loads of bands that have had dodgy deals with dodgy labels, and it's turned out really bad. And for us, we've been around, I think, 31 years. We've never had a dodgy deal, so we've been very lucky.
That's really good, yeah, so I'm quite happy because Ragebreed got the label we've released this year has been fairly new, because it's a sort of thing that I really wanted to do when I was little. I remember being at college and they go, what do you want to do when you grow up and all this? And I said, well, I want to be a singer, but I also want to have my own music company. And it's really strange because when I was that young, I really knew what I wanted. There was no question. It was like, this is what I want to release. I want to publish my poetry, I want to publish my art, I want to be a singer, and I want to have my own label. And they're like, oh, you already know what you want. I was like, yeah, pretty much. So this year we signed five bands. But they all seem to be happy. So
Good.
I'm happy about that. And then we got less alternative label from Pacific, which was good. So that
Brilliant. I think you're taking on too much. My hands are full of being in one band and doing a bit of poetry and photography and artwork on the side. Having a record label and and a magazine, a radio show.
I know, I do take on a lot, to be fair, I'm not gonna lie. It's not, but the thing is, it's because I can't just do one thing. I've got so many, like my brain is so overactive, I'll always come up with an idea, and then I'm one of these people that I can't just sit on the idea, I have to make it happen. So, but there is a cost to that because I have to be able to plan efficiently, and I think sometimes I've just kind of gone in and thought, oh God, I've got too much stuff to do, and then I've got to recruit, so it's something that I'm trying to get a balance with and say, right, okay, don't keep storming ahead with things, have a bit of step back a little bit, recruit first and then announce it, so there's things that I am learning along the way, and but I tell you something though, it is wonderful when you see it out there and it's in its form and it's in its glory and people are enjoying it. That I think is the most important thing. And
oh yeah, definitely. When you get all the positive feedback, it means the world.
Yeah. And having bands that really, I think it's been I think the label's been a good thing because we're very close as well as people. I know Johnny and David from Incognito Theory. And Tristan, we're all quite close, friends as well now. So it's and we all help each other as well. They're like, oh, I've got this radio show here. I've told them about you, and they'll share all these contacts, and it's wonderful. I think I've made some really good friends, but also people on your wavelength that have got that ambition and drive to do things, you know. And I do think before, you know, there's some people that understand that and some people don't, you know, when you want to do something very, very productive, you know, and I'm just one of these people. If there's something I want to do, I'll just find a way to do it, you know. It's like with poetry. I mean, I have to be really, like, time scheduled as well. Like, I mean, you should see my diary. It's like scribbles everywhere. You know, but, you know, I think it's just one of them things. It's like, I mean, I love the fact you do photography as well. So what made you decide to get into that then? Was it through your nature walks and things?
No, this was years ago. I did the artwork for our second album, Turn Loose the Swans. This was years before digital photography and Photoshop and all the rest of it. And I took loads of French photos, and it was back in the day, probably before we were born, when you take film to Boots, and Boots take a week to develop it, and then they give you your photograph back in an envelope, and you go through them all, and then I'd then find the ones I like, and I'd put like acid and vinegar on them and burn the edges, and then put some together, and then I'd photograph that and send that off to be developed by Boots, and then we'll come back a week later and so I have a photograph of my photograph. And Turn Loose the Swans, all the artwork on Turn Loose the Swans was done like that. No Photoshop, nothing like that. And I designed 3 or 4 album covers with photographs. And I just like the visual art. And then when I did get introduced to Photoshop, I actually loved it. I didn't think, you know, a lot of people, photographers hate it because it's like, you know, if you can't capture the photo within camera, you shouldn't be fiddling around with it post. And I'm thinking, bullshit. If you take a really nice photo, but it's got a bird in the sky, it just looks like a dot, it's really annoying, you can just clone it out of Photoshop. Rather than stay there and wait for a clear sky, you know, you can argue about it all day long. And I just like to take photos of things I think that are interesting. And as I say, they're on my website, azron.com, which is AZZRON. And again, like some people look at some of the photos and think, yeah, that's alright, oh, that's nice, yeah, that's alright, yeah, that's alright, yeah, that's alright. And they won't be blown away by it, because it might not be their cup of tea. But I don't give a shit. This is what I like. Here it is.
Yeah.
Simple as that.
That's it. I mean, I tried to do some pictures when I went to the Lake District and put it on some canvases. You know, you get those things where they say, oh, put your photo on a canvas. And I go, oh, that might be a good way. And took some black and white shots and I did some. The thing is, I love the Lake District. I think it's so beautiful.
Yeah.
Like, and I remember when we went out there and what happened was the night before it started snowing, we were meant to go to a boat trip the next day. I was thinking, oh no, it's going to get cancelled. But the weirdest thing happened. In the morning, the sun shone and it melted a lot of the snow. But there was still snow there, but just not as much.
Yeah.
So the boat trip went ahead, but let me tell you something, it was so beautiful. Like, you had all these mountainous areas while you were on the boat, but you could see the tops of the mountains where the snow had fallen on the snow-capped mountains.
Perfect.
Beautiful sun. It was like so incredible. I was just like, wow, that's probably a very rare thing to have happened. And
it is.
What's that day? And it was really weird because the night before it had been snowing, but what spectacular photos, you know.
Yeah, it's lucky, you know. I live in Yorkshire, and I can drive in my car 10 minutes in any direction. I'm out in the wilderness. There's waterfalls, and lakes, and forests, rock formations, and I just need to get out there a bit more. Because, as I said, when my daughter was diagnosed with cancer in 2017, everything stopped. The artwork, the plans, everything stopped. because my life was full of this, and it took a few years to get food back. And I still haven't picked up my camera properly yet, and gone out and taken some of the photos that I know I want to take. But I can feel the desire and the urge coming back. I'm standing itchy now to go and take some new photographs, which I think I'll do in the next few weeks. You know, the weather's nice, the scenery is beautiful. I can pick up the camera and get out.
Yeah, and I think, you know, Yorkshire Dales, I went out there as well. And,
oh yeah.
There's that lovely brook thing where, I don't know if you remember Robin Hood, Princess Thieves.
Yeah.
And they had that thing where John and, I think, was it Little John and Robin had that fight in the brook? Yeah. So I went there, and it was just so cool. It was just like, wow, this is beautiful. And I didn't realise Yorkshire had such, you know, beautiful scenery and, you know, things like that. So I went there, and I went to Langsett as well, which was really nice.
Went to where?
Langsett. So I think it's the Peak District.
Oh, possibly.
Yeah, that was really nice.
Yorkshire's great. A lot of people, when they think of Yorkshire, they just think of cobbled streets, old-fashioned houses, you know, and the industrial mills and all that sort of shit. And they forget the fact that, I mean, if you combine North, East, South and West Yorkshire, it's the largest county in the UK. And the coastline is hundreds of miles long, so we've got amazing seafood, fish, you know, we've got cows and sheep and fruit and orchards, and Yorkshire can live by itself. Yorkshire doesn't need the rest of the world. Yorkshire's got everything it needs to be self-sustained and still remain beautiful at the same time. I love it here.
Yeah, it is gorgeous. I mean, I've been there a couple of times. My brother was studying medicine over there, so I went over to go and see him, and I was just so taken aback at how beautiful it is. Even the centre and everything, and all the buildings, like you're saying. And,
oh yeah.
Really, really beautiful buildings. I've got a thing for beautiful buildings. I like all the, you know, the epic, big, you know.
I love architecture. When we went, the band played in St. Petersburg in Russia. And the architecture there is mind-blowing. You don't really hear much about it. You know, people are always talking about Paris and Rome, which are also brilliant. But St. Petersburg is absolutely magnificent. And if you like architecture, go and visit there, and you'll be blown away.
Yeah, definitely. But what's the best place that you've travelled then as a band, would you say?
Oh God, we've been all over the place. It depends what you're talking about, because when we played with Ronnie James Dio in America obviously is very modern cities, but we loved it because of who we were playing with. And you'll always have fond memories of that. You know, I can't remember much of the architecture because there wasn't a great deal. And then you play in Rome, and Rome is as ancient as you can imagine, and it looks absolutely every corner you turn, every street you go down in Rome, it's magnificent. It's like you're stepping back in time. So it depends why you're on tour, where you're going, and who you're with, can decide whether or not you're having a great time.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, I've been to Venice, which was very beautiful as well.
Yeah.
But I'm quite big on things like, you know, in Greece, for example. They've got some really beautiful, like Olympia, for example. They had some really great ruins and things like that. And what I like to do whenever I go abroad is to have a look at the history of stuff. So, you know, what happened here, like when I went on a holiday by myself actually once. I went to Kos, and I did it because I wanted to see all these like ruins and things, because I like history as well, so I like to sort of see, you know, what happened here, you know, I like that. And they had a really beautiful cathedral out there as well, which, you know, it's stunning. It's amazing to think that all around the world there's all these pieces of history dotted around, and beautiful buildings that are probably centuries old, you know.
Oh yeah.
Amazing stuff, really.
Yeah, it's worth we're lucky because we travel with the band to do gigs. So for the most part, we're traveling, we haven't had to pay for the holiday. We haven't had to pay to go and have a look at the places. We're already there. And, we try now, if we're going somewhere, like if we're going to gig in Rome on a Saturday night, we don't fly in on Saturday morning, do the sound check, do the show, fly home Sunday. We'll fly in Friday.
Yeah.
Chill out, do some sightseeing, have a meal, have a few drinks, wake up the next day, do a bit more sightseeing, then do the sound check and the gig and then go home. If we're going somewhere nice, we go a day early to enjoy it.
Absolutely. I suppose it's really wonderful when you're sort of going on tour and going to these different countries to sample what it's like.
But it's not always clever because you might head out on tour, which might be 2 weeks or something, and you look at the list of cities and you think, oh yeah, Paris, Rome, Munich, Berlin, Frankfurt, and wherever. And then when you get there, the venues are in industrial estates, and it's all grey, it's all utilitarian, 10 miles out of the city centre, and you don't see anything. Sometimes there are tours like that, and other times you get the opportunity to do it in the centre of the town or city, and that's wonderful. But you're not always great. Sometimes someone says, "Oh, you're playing in Bruges, one of the most beautiful towns in Europe." And when you get there, you're actually 5 miles out. You can't even see Bruges on the horizon, and you're in some industrial estate where it goes sometimes.
Yeah, I suppose it just depends where the venue's located. And the thing is, I suppose when you're living abroad as well, you don't know the area so well, do you? I guess it's a bit of a
Yeah, it's nice to visit these places, and it's even better if you've got a diary. Thankfully, when we went to Russia, our sound engineer, Mag, knew a Russian woman, so she met us at the airport when we landed, and she did all the talking for us, because over there, because of the alphabet, we couldn't even read signs. We would have been completely stuck. So she did all the talking, sorted out the taxi, everything. When you've got a guide, really helpful, because without a guide, you can get so stressed out, with the money, the taxi, the addresses. If someone gives you a hotel address, and it's written in the Russian language, you can't read it. So you have to hand it to someone who can read it and say, take me there! I hope they do. So it's nice if you can find a local who is willing to spend some time with you and show you around.
Yeah, that's really good advice, actually, especially for people who may not have toured yet and probably want to do a European tour and stuff. So
yeah, that's where social media helps. I only came to social media a few years ago. I'm miles behind the beginners. But now we've made lots of contacts. If we're going to Paris, I can put on Facebook, we're heading to Paris. Obviously, I'm not going to give away the hotel name because everybody will show up and come back. But I'll say, anybody there who can spend a few hours showing their Dying Bride around, let me know, and we'll sort something out.
That's a really good idea, yeah. I think social media's opened up a lot of doors in that way, and I think also with, getting contacts and things like that, I mean, gosh, it's been an influx of contacts. Somebody always knows somebody else, don't they? And it's like,
oh yeah,
I want to put you in touch with this person, and someone will say, oh, you know that person, and they'll go, oh, I want you to meet this person, and then all of a sudden you've got all these different people that you didn't even know. I think before social media, you probably would never have known they existed. It doesn't reach globally a lot of the time. So in a way, as much as social media does have its, bad points in terms of, where you get all the trolls and things, but it does have its good points like that. So for networking, it's fantastic.
Yeah, it is. I mean, I'm not on it all the time. I can tell, just being here with you now, people think I'm online, therefore available to comment. All these messages flying at me right now. I can't read them because I don't know how to work Screen. But it's something I can't cope with. So, because I'm talking to you right now, not anyone else. Because they can see I'm online, they're all sending me stuff and they're wondering why I'm not responding. Yeah, because my hands are full. And then once me and you are finished here, I won't read these messages. I'll turn it off and go and have a shower, pour myself a gin and tonic, and sit and read in the garden. People don't like that. They think, well, I've asked you a question. You should be online and responding. And I'm like, no. I'm not one of these young types who loves the attention. I joined Facebook to inform people about My Dying Bride and what I'm doing. I mean, My Dying Bride can do it themselves, because My Dying Bride has got their own social media platform. But I wanted to help. I just wanted to help and tell people about some of my stuff as well. That's not related to My Dying Bride. What I don't want, and I may be mistaken with this, what I don't want to use Facebook for is the two-way communication. You know, I'm happy to talk to a few people. I can't talk to everybody. It's impossible. There's hundreds and hundreds of people wanting to talk to me all the time, which is lovely. I don't have the time to respond.
And I like that you've got your boundaries up with that, because you have to. I mean, I must admit, it wasn't so bad at the beginning when I first started with social media. Since Ragebreed and, you know, the various things, oh my god, it's like constant stuff all the time. And the worst ones are the ones that just say hi, and that's it.
Yeah.
Like, I know exactly what you mean, and it's not that you are trying to be rude or anything, but you just don't have the time to always reply to everybody. You're completely right about that, and it's good that you do go off, do your own thing, and then reply when it suits you.
That's exactly right. I can only respond when I feel in the mood to respond. I mean, I know that young people have grown up with mobile phones. This modern language of communicating instantly, and as soon as the phone pings, it's straight on it with an instant reply. I'm just, if I'm not in the mood, I'm not going to reply. Sometimes if you don't reply, the very next day you get another message from them. Are you there? And then by the time you get round to reading the messages, first one's hi, how are you doing? Are you there? Have you gone away? I can see you're online. Is there a reason you're not responding? Bye then. And when I get to read all these, 2 weeks later, it's just the way it is. And if it's an older person, they will understand that. If it's some kid, they'll be furious that I didn't respond immediately. I can't.
I know exactly. That's really funny, because I think so many people are in that boat as well, and it is really about sort of saying, you know what, I don't respond on your terms, basically. I respond when I'm available. It's having those terms, because you can get sucked in with it. There are people that are like, and then you can log on and I'll just respond. But you could be in the middle of something.
Yeah.
And it's been a very big learning thing for me, where I say, got your message, I'll respond to you tomorrow. And I sometimes say that. Sometimes I don't respond, and I just pick it up when I have the time to do it. So totally.
Because I mean, when I say I'm finished with you, I'm going to sit in the garden with you. I'm not. I'm going to put my daughter to bed first. So people are like, you're picking your daughter before me. Someone I don't even know from across the world. Yes, I'm picking my daughter before you. Sorry about that.
Definitely. 100% agree with that. Yeah, that's really funny. But okay then. So lastly, let's just talk about some of the things that you've been recently doing. So you've got your beers. This new brewery thing. Where can people get hold of it? Is that on your own website?
I don't think it's on the. I'm not sure it's even on the My Dying Bride website. It should be. But no, it's Dark Land Brewery in Halifax. And I think they're doing a new batch at the moment. Because if you went to the Dark Island website, last time I went to it was about 2 weeks ago. So I was trying to show my friend the link, and it said there's nothing to see here because it's sold out, which is great. But it'd be better if it said sold out rather than nothing to see here.
Yeah.
So the brewery's going, I think this link is dead. It's not going to the beer because people can't buy it. And they responded, yeah, that's because it's sold out. We're brewing some new stuff now, and it'll be available soon. But we'll put that on the bloody website then. Otherwise people think it no longer exists and is no longer available. So there's a new batch coming through, but yeah, if you just keep checking it, darklandsbrewery.co.uk, I think. And it's not just ours here, they've got tons of other great beers. I'm selfishly pushing ours, they've got loads of great beers. And if you want to, and you're in the Halifax area, they've got their own bar as well. You can turn up and sample all these wonderful beers. It's great.
Excellent. Okay, that's really good. So I suppose everyone knows now what to do and whether they need to wait for the next batch as well.
Yeah, and it's finally being put in kegs as well now, so it's going to be arriving in some months. So the brewer are approaching loads of different bars saying, we've got this new beer, do you want to try it? And so far, there's a weird connection between the sales guy at the brewery seems to know quite a lot of posh people. So all the first beer kegs went to private golf clubs. So it's not like, because I want to go along to a pub that's got a keg on and sort of mosey on in there and say, hey, can I have a pint of that old earth farmer? But I haven't been able to do it. It's all gone to private clubs and hotels and stuff, which is still great. But I'd love to see it in my local pub. It'd be brilliant.
Yeah, that would be great. Yeah, absolutely. So basically what we're going to do now is just, so we've done an interview with you in Ragebreed magazine shooting, so that's coming up for everyone. But also, your next show, HRH, is going to be coming up. Do you know what date that is?
You would think I would have that information to hand, wouldn't you? Hang on. I can give that information if it's on an email from our tour manager, which is, that's not up to date. Oh, here we go. HRH shows. No, that doesn't have I think. Oh, hang on, there's another one. God, I'm such an amateur.
Oh, don't worry. I know it's HRH Goth, isn't it? Goth Festival.
Yeah, if you just Google HRH, Field of Nephilim are doing one night, My Blind Bride are doing another night. One's on Saturday, one's on Sunday, one's in London, one's in Leeds. Google it.
Yeah. Google HRH, all good. So that's really good.
Yeah.
Well, it's been an absolute pleasure talking to you, Aaron. It's been
thanks, Karina. Thanks for inviting me.
Yeah, it's been a very, very, really eye-opening to the world of My Dying Bride and yourself, and the things that you love to do and some of the challenges you've gone through. So, great interview, and thank you so much for being on Ragebreed Meet and Greets.
It's my pleasure. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Take care.
Cheers. See you later.
Bye-bye.
What a great interview with Aaron from My Dying Bride. This was Ragebreed Meet and Greets on Facebook Live on Ragebreed Global. We do apologise for the delay, something that we couldn't really help. But however, what a great interview. And, I'm very, very happy with how that went. I think, Aaron has been a very big influence of mine, along with bands such as Type A Negative, Paradise Lost, Lacuna Coil. You know, My Dying Bride has been a huge influence for me. So it was wonderful to finally get to know Aaron a little bit more, and a little bit more information about My Dying Bride and the things that he likes to do outside the band. So really interesting stuff, and I hope you really enjoyed the interview. I was totally blown away by this, you know, really cool. And do go and see them when they headline HRH Goth. I will definitely be going down to check them out there. We've got some great bands on, you know, the HRH Goth Festival, so do check them out, and go and see My Dying Bride. Absolutely brilliant band live as well. I've seen them, so you know, really good. And like I say, when I was I was tour manager for Omnium Gatherum, you know, that's when the first time I'd seen My Dying Bride live. I'd got a lot of the albums. So I've actually seen them live, you know, a few times since then. But yeah, it's like I say, great band, great Nuclear Blast records, and I suggest you buy the albums because they are absolutely brilliant. And you've got a taste of some of their music in this interview as well that we've put together. So thank you all for tuning in to Ragebreed Global. Invite your friends to the group, you know, so they can watch some really cool videos, and also subscribe to Ragebreed TV and like the video if you enjoyed it. Thanks so much, and thank you so much for your support. Take it easy. This is Karina Sher from Ragebreed, signing out.